All right, guys. Welcome, everyone. I see you guys trickling in little by little. How's everyone doing? So we're going to go ahead and let everyone kind of start falling in so that we can begin the webinar for today. You're in? All right. Sounds good, man. All right, we have 2 viewers. We won't start until we at least have 10 viewers, man. 10 viewers. Start trickling in, people. Yeah, I posted a new link. So if you need to share the link, if you need to share it, go ahead, go right ahead. This is a free training, guys. So go ahead and share it with whoever it is that you like to share it with. Free training. The link will not stay open, so you will not be able to see it later on today. It is only for members. So if you're not watching it now, you won't be able to watch it later. It's recorded, but it'll be set to private. So we have 4 viewers, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start switching over to this chart. Pull up a chart real quick. All right. Who's all in here? Let me see. Can you guys say hi? Let me try to pull up the chat. Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and give it a few more minutes. Now we have 8. Go ahead and share the link, guys, so that you can actually help your friends benefit from this free training. If you are part of our group, go ahead and share the link with your team so that they are able to see what exactly it is that we're doing and how we're taking control. We're going to take control. Taking control is very important. The reason that I named the webinar today, Take Control, is because we're going to be basically focusing on taking control of our game plan. You know, how to create a game plan when you're trading and how to pretty much trade that same game plan. Not fall outside of the game plan whenever you start trading or emotionally start trading in order to start kind of like hindering yourself. So what a lot of people tend to do is they'll begin to deter themselves from entering trades because of fear. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about fear, guys. So go ahead and share the link, guys. If you want your teams to see this webinar, go ahead and share the link. We have about 5 more minutes before we begin. I just want to say hi to everyone. You guys can utilize the chat. If you look on the top left-hand side, there's a chat button. You can open the chat. You can ask questions. You can interact, and that way I can see what you guys are thinking, what you guys are saying. I'd be more than happy to answer some questions as we go along as well. Although we'll try to leave most of the questions towards the end just in case, so that we don't interrupt the course for other people that are watching. So go ahead and share the link, guys. All right. How's everybody doing? Everybody, if you want to use the chat, I think it's over there, right? Top left-hand side. Go ahead and click on the button that says chat. It's kind of like a little cloud. Open it up, chat up, say hi to everybody. I want you guys to kind of interact, get to know each other, get familiar. I just moved, guys. I just moved to another place until I find my new house. I'm probably gonna try to find a house or build a house. But until then, I just moved just recently, probably like 2 weeks ago. Not that very long ago. I'm still unpacking everything. I haven't even put up anything on the walls or anything. So go ahead, guys. We have 3 more minutes before we take off. All right. So once the train leaves, the train has left the station. So in the meantime, guys, how's everybody been doing with their trading? Everybody's been doing all right? Hope everybody's been doing all right. Hope everybody had a wonderful day. Welcome. I see some new viewers came in. Hello, guys. How you doing? All right, we have 16 viewers, and we have 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Let me go ahead and do something real quick. Let me see. All right. So guys, in between, every once in a while, I'm going to be taking sips of water because my throat is going to be getting dry. And it's important that for me to be able to get my point across, my throat is not like, I'm not parched. All right. So drink some water, guys. Make sure you stay hydrated. And we have 1 minute left, guys. So make sure to share that link. We're basically gonna drop nuggets. We're gonna drop some fire stuff today. You definitely want to understand why it is that many people kind of fail at trading. Why it is that I failed at trading for quite some time. I'm glad you guys are actually staying in here while we have this little intermission and everybody gets in the room. All right, guys. So we have 1 more minute, about 50 seconds left, and we're about to begin. If you guys look on the left-hand side, there's a chat button. Go ahead and let me know what pair you guys would like me to review. I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight as far as like what the market is doing. And for any of you guys that don't know me, my name is Jay Barbosa Moreno. What we're going to be going over today is advanced Forex trading and taking control. So we're going to basically be covering taking control. How do we take control when we're in front of that chart in order to bring in money, bring in the money, bring in the pips, bring in the profits? You know, how do we take control of our emotions so that our emotions don't take over and we can capitalize on the opportunities that we have in front of us? The Forex market is an unlimited potential, unlimited income potential. You guys can make a lot of money. I can make a lot of money. You can too. It's just a matter of like, can we control our emotions while we're in front of the charts? Do we understand what it is that we're seeing in front of the charts? And can I take the wins with the losses? Okay, guys. So since it's already 9:10, let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to sharing my screen. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, my name is Jay Barbosa. Let's go ahead and begin. I'm about to share my desktop. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into trading view. Give me 1 second, guys. So I'm going to go ahead into AUDUSD. That's one of my favorite pairs. So AUDUSD, this is actually the same pair that we did last week's. And look, I haven't even touched it. I left it exactly as it is. I didn't touch it for the simple fact that I pretty much like to see where stuff is going. So I'm going to clear this chart because it looks crazy right now. All right, guys. So this line right here that you guys are seeing, that's my 50 EMA, right? I'm going to go ahead and erase that because I don't really use that. And so we have AUDUSD. For everyone that hasn't understood Forex or has never had any information as far as Forex, or you've never been trained, or you've never actually looked into Forex. Forex, what it is basically the currency exchange market. It basically controls the market where currency conversion rates are done. So it's the conversion from the Aussie dollar, which is the Australian dollar, to the US dollar in this case, which is our base and quote pair, guys. So we have base and quote pair AUDUSD, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and begin. And before we actually break into trading, I'm going to give you a little bit of knowledge, guys. There's a lot more to our existence than meets the odds. I'm sure many of you know that. I'm not sure if any of you guys believe in deities or believe in gods or whatever it is that you believe in, the greater power, harmony, universal harmony, law of attraction, whatever it is that you guys believe in. There is more to our existence than meets the odds. So with that, I'm going to tell you this, guys. Fear. What is fear, guys? Fear, I'm going to read out the exact definition. Fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. That's what fear means, guys. And so how does fear come into play into our lives? Guys, and this is just in general, whether you have a startup business, where you have a dealership, whether you have a real estate company, where you're trying to start any of those things, whether, you know, it doesn't really matter, a tax company like many of us have over here at Circle of Wealth, any of those things, you know, how does fear apply to our lives? How does fear apply to how does fear apply to our trading? So fear, no matter how little, is a mental and a spiritual illness, guys. Fear is a spiritual and mental illness. It doesn't matter how little it is, but a lot of people don't see it that way because it's something that we kind of just tend to brush under the rug. We don't have the self-awareness, or most people don't really have the self-awareness, or don't think of fear as something being a mental illness. But I'm here to tell you this, guys, that it is. We need to take control, and that's why the training today is basically named Taking Control, because we need to take control of fear before we begin trading. We need to basically understand that, yes, there is opportunity to have losses, and yes, there is a lot of opportunity to have gains. And that is why we have risk to reward opportunities, risk to reward ratios. So do not underestimate, basically, guys, you do not want to underestimate fear, okay? Because fear is actually a very, very powerful emotion. As a matter of fact, I think fear, in order to fear something, you exert 3 times the energy that you would probably exert on any other emotion. So what does that mean? Fear, when you have fear, it takes energy to fear that one thing. Then you are also wasting energy in being in denial, because a lot of people are in denial or are oblivious to the fact that they have fear. So it's kind of counterproductive. And then they have to actually waste energy in trying to gain control of that fear. So you exert 3 times the energy in fearing something than any other emotion. So let's go ahead and begin, guys. Now that you understand how fear works, you need to be able to control it. You need to be able to control it. Until you control fear, you're not going to go ahead and make profit in the markets, guys. So we have AUDUSD, and I'm currently on the AUDUSD daily chart, right? We have the AUDUSD daily chart. I'm going to go ahead and start drawing out some support and resistance, and I'm going to let you guys see how I see the markets. Oh, it's the wrong one. The reason I did this is because it created a new structural low at some point. And if you were here for our last webinar, you guys were able to see that anytime that I saw price create a new structure low or a new structure high, I created a horizontal resistance line. Why? Because I want to know what are the major resistance points. I want to know what are the major resistance or support points. All right, so these zones they have major, really strong supply and demand properties. They have really strong supply and demand properties, meaning, what does that mean? Meaning, if price were to touch here, price is very likely going to reverse for quite a while before it decides to continue going back up, unless it had an impulse leg that broke right through it. So let's go ahead and draw some more of these. Here we have another confluence zone right here. We've already seen that that's been broken. Yep, we've already seen that that's been broken. Let's go ahead and draw this one here. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and draw some diagonal support and resistance, guys. Some diagonal support and resistance. As you guys can see, price has been rising, right? Price has been rising. As we spoke before, we've seen that price has been creating lower lows and lower highs. So you had a lower high here previous to this one right here. Price broke this structure, created this new structure low, then came back, created this new structure high, and it actually came back to structure. So guys, as we understand, as you guys have been told a million times, structure leaves clues, right? So you can see that price came down, came to the zone. It had some price rejection, came up, tested again, came back up. The 50 EMA pushed it all the way down. Then you had a break. You didn't have a retest. You had a slight retest here, but then you had a complete breakdown, and then you had a structural low down here. Once this created a structural low, price created a structural low here. Then price started to create same highs, then same lows. Then we had a higher high. Then you had another higher high. A little bit confusing there, huh? But as you guys can see, you know that AUDUSD was in a downtrend. AUDUSD was in a downtrend because unless it were able to take this previous high out, then AUDUSD most likely was going to continue a downtrend. You can see that. So pretty much the same thing. What do we got? What do we have in the near future, in this future current market, guys? We have Are you guys able to see? Sorry about that. So we have this lower high, price breaks down. Then you have a higher high, price actually breaks above, and you can know that price is going to kind of change direction because we spoke about structures, right? We spoke about structure highs, structure lows, and this previous low, right, was much lower than the next low. So you knew that price, the bearish downtrend, was pretty much going to stop for a little while. We were probably going to have some bullish uptrend. So just because price created these higher lows here, you knew that price was potentially going to create higher highs. So you had this higher high, then you begin to have, if you go into the intraday, guys, let me see. Let me go ahead and move this closer in because you guys are probably not able to see. All right, sorry about that if you weren't able to see before. I think I got a little message that they weren't able to see. All right, so we have this higher high, right? We have a higher high here, and then we have higher low. And we have a large wick. And as a matter of fact, besides the large wick, you're able to see that the candles begin to get smaller as well. So now you see that price closed here. What are you most likely going to see? You're going to see some sort of retracement. Guys, price will never just fall. Price will never just fall. And as you can see, if you would have known that this was a previous resistance, price is very likely going to go ahead and retest that resistance, right? So if you created, every time that a price creates a structure high or structure low, I place a horizontal, right? So structure high, resistance, then creates lower lows, lower high, lower low, higher low. And so you see that you have wicks and you have an inverted hammer. So you can probably ride that thing up, right? Now you have a higher high than this previous one. Then you have another higher high. This is all intraday, guys. We're going on the larger time frames. I personally like trading on higher time frames. So you see that price broke above the 50 EMA, created this higher high, higher low, and so you have another wick. And what do you have next? You have a slight retracement and price just pulls away, right? It goes all the way back into resistance of the previous structure. Price is rejected, leaves a wick, leaves a large doji, leaves a large doji cross here on the daily chart. And so price goes bearish again. So what you have to think about, guys, when you're basically analyzing, you have to understand that with price touching this area, there is a very high possibility that price is going to reverse, being that it is only the second time that price is touching this zone. See, when price tried to touch this zone a third time, it failed, and it failed gravely, right? You have major price rejection, major wick, huge evening star, right? Huge evening star. That's indication of a bearish channel, especially coming off of a resistance. You have a lower high, and price just drops about probably like 300 pips. Let's see how many pips is that. 400. Price basically dropped 400 pips in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Right there, you were probably at 300 at 6 days, and then you're going to get a retracement. Price kept dropping. I would have exited out right here as soon as I started seeing all these like indications for reversal, because I really don't know where price is going to go ahead and keep going. If price can just pull back on me right there. So the one thing that did save you is that when price created this lower high, and then there's a lower low, you can see that the low is lower than the previous one. Where's the previous low? We have a previous low right here, right? And so we have the previous low right there. Price broke below it and created an even lower low. So that would have been an indication of, if I don't see price creating a higher low somewhere in here, it's very likely that price is going to continue in a bearish trend. Okay, so price did end up creating that lower low, and so now you have an indication of see, this is where people get tricked out. I would have probably been tricked out as well, because now it's creating some wicks here, and they're inverted, right? It's creating these wicks here, and they're inverted. And so now it's creating these wicks here. I would have waited. Now, this is when you start going into a different time frame, because price created this low, and now I want to know, all right, we have this low. Price created this lower high, then created this higher low, higher high, higher low, or same low. So price has stopped creating lows, guys. You see how price stopped creating lows? So price stopped creating lower lows, and now you can start seeing that price created here a slightly higher high. It's barely. I wouldn't take it either. But you see a pullback, and it doesn't come nowhere near here. It basically wicks. Guys, that's a buy right there. So off of this trend, guys, you can see that price creates the higher highs, higher lows, comes back to structure right there, higher high, comes back to structure right there, higher high, comes back to that same structure, that previous structure, then it creates these lower lows, these lower highs. This I wouldn't have taken for quite a while, but now you're starting to see another pattern, because if you hadn't had this here and you had one touch and two touch, I have one touch, two touch, three touch. So the first touch, second touch, three touch. I have a consistent resistance, diagonal resistance, diagonal resistance or support. I mean, we have a consistent support line right here that price has failed to break, right? And we see price moving further away from it. So you see price creating these higher lows, right? Price is actually creating these higher lows. So you see now that price is probably creating a bullish uptrend. So now you have price creating higher lows instead of lower lows. And as long as price is creating higher lows, isn't creating lower lows and creating higher lows, then it's very likely that price is going to continue up, right? That there is no identification of a downtrend. So there is no reason, guys, there is absolutely no reason why you should be selling in this market. There's absolutely no reason why you should be selling in this market, because unless you were coming near one of these confluence zones, you would not be selling. Now, here we would have created another new structure high. And so when price touches that, I know what you have: 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and price comes down. What do we see? What did we see here as well? What did we see here as well, guys? We had 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, and fell hard. Then we had creating lows, and then it's barely ever coming back. So price breaks down completely. It's not able to penetrate the zone. There's not conviction. There's not enough buyer conviction to this zone at the moment. But on the daily, you guys can see that in the daily, it basically touches about 3 times, right? It basically touches this zone like about 3 times. You can see that the 4th time it breaks through it with a what do you call this? With a very, very strong conviction. And yeah, so price, sorry about that, I got a message. So always price breaks, you can see this price breaks this area with very strong conviction, right? And with an impulse leg, it just pretty much just breaks it. There's no pullback, just break. Why? Because price needed to get out of that zone. If price stayed in that zone again, it would just fall again. And no economy is going to deteriorate just to play Forex. So price came out of that zone. Price created these same lows here, right? Same lows here. Created this same lows here. Then you have a major wick. Created this little higher high here. Then you broke above the 50 EMA and price created another higher high. Then you have another higher high. Guys, full-blown uptrend. Full-blown uptrend. No reason, no rhyme or reason to sell. Why? Because you don't want to get caught. If news were to be released in an uptrend, it's very likely that the news is going to favor the trend. News is going to favor the trend. So we're almost in about 30 minutes, guys. I'm going to show you. I gave a call yesterday to one of my partners, KC. And the reason that I did is because I was on the daily chart. I was on the daily chart, and I knew that structure had basically broke a zone, right? So I'm gonna zoom it out a little bit so you guys can see what I saw. And let's put a horizontal support and resistance here. All right, and so I knew that price had broke completely above this zone right here. Price broke completely above that zone. I am going to trust that price is going to continue going up. Why? Because as we've been talking about support and resistance, and we have a diagonal, sometimes I don't even draw my stuff on wicks, guys. I just kind of do something like this. So if we have a diagonal support and resistance here, which was previously probably resistance somewhere around this zone, right? It's always playing some sort. There's always some sort of confluence. This candle was not there yesterday. This candle was not there. And I told them, hey, man, go ahead and buy. Okay. I said, go ahead and buy AUDUSD. And so the reason that I did that is because if we go now that we know that we have this horizontal support, I mean, not this horizontal, this diagonal support line, we're going to go into the 4 hour, and I'm going to show you how price has been touching a certain area and has been failing to penetrate. So the reason I said buy is because you can see that we have new structure high, then new structure low, and then we have new structure high, higher high. Then you don't even have any lows here, so price is probably going to continue up. These lows are barely like going any lower. So you have these lower low, and then you have these lower high, and now you know, okay, price is going to very likely, if price doesn't make this higher high, price is going to come down. Price came down, price created these lower lows, then you have this higher low, then you have a higher high, and then you have another higher low. Price broke above the 50 HMA, I mean the 50 EMA, right? Created this higher high here. There's no reason for me to think price is going to reverse. Too many people are always thinking, oh, I need to find the reversal. Don't think so much about reversals. You see that price broke above this zone? You see that price broke above this zone? It's going to retest it. It's going to retest, see if price can actually keep stronger. So price broke above that zone, which was the new structure high. Price broke above that zone, stayed above that zone. You can see that there is a confluence in that zone right there. There is some sort of confluence in that zone that's holding price above once it broke above it. But then price decides to come back down, get a little bit more strong, a little bit more strength, a little pullback so that it can slingshot up. Give me 1 second, guys, because I have a trade open. Let me see. All right. So you see price slingshot up, right? Why does price slingshot up? Price needs to come back, do a pullback to be able to gain more buyer strength to continue on its course, right? I don't see any signs of reversal until I know for a fact there is a higher low, a lower high somewhere here, and then where I would take a sell, I would have to wait until price broke below here. Price broke below this zone. So guys, I think that's pretty much going to conclude our, let me see, is that 25 minutes now? I think we have like about 5 more minutes. So let me go ahead and give you a little bit more. So let's see. So now we have that new structure high, and you can see that it becomes a confluence as well. Price breaks the 50 EMA after creating this higher low, breaks the 50 EMA with an impulse leg. Then you have a retracement, and then price. Why do you have a retracement? Because again, this is a resistance zone, right? So price comes to the zone, comes back down, and continues up. Now you can start seeing a lot of signs for reversal, right? You start seeing a lot of signs for reversal. But what do I need to see before taking this short? I need to see a higher low. I mean, a lower high. I need to see a lower high. Those terms are going to confuse you as long as I live. It's just it's 4 terms, and you just invertedly use them back, and like inversely use the low and the high, and it's kind of annoying. But that's it. It works, guys. So you start seeing these wicks up here, and you can see that momentum is being it's pretty much coming to an end. Momentum is coming to an end. You're getting smaller candles. You have strong candles, then you have shorter candles, right? And then I want to see a separate valley. I want to see a separate low, and then a lower high before I can take a short here. But where do we see that? We can see that a price again creates a new structure. Price again creates a new structure. Then you have a lower high here. Then you have a lower high here, and now you see how momentum got even weaker to continue going up. Right? You have hammer, hammer, fall. Same thing here, guys. You have a bullish engulfed candle. Then you have bullish engulfed candle, created this low, new structure low. Bullish engulfed candle. Then you have this little low. You have this high, which is a lower high. But then you have a higher low. Price continued up. And I told them, I believe I told them to take a buy, and it was somewhere around here. But I already knew it was like 1 touch, 2 touch. I was like, buy. It was like really easy. It was a given. So go ahead, buy. He bought, make some money. And price is just continuing up. So what we're seeing now, price is going to do another pullback and very likely going to create another high. That's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys understood what I was explaining to you guys today. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, now's the time to ask. I'm going to stop screen sharing. Coming back to the camera, guys. Hope that was insightful for everyone. You were able to learn something. Any of you have any questions? So if you guys click on the left-hand side, there's a chat button. You're able to click the chat button. And if you do click the chat button, you're able to ask questions. I'm here to answer some of your questions. So if you saw anything that I showed you guys on that chart that caused you any confusion, here's the time to ask. Ask away. So if you don't know how to use the chat, all you have to do, if you look on the left-hand side over there, I don't know if you guys see, maybe it's this way, maybe it's that way. So if you look on the left-hand side, all the way at the top, you're able to click on the little chat. You're able to ask questions. Go ahead and ask me questions. This is your chance. Go ahead and ask questions. So what do you guys think about the fear factor of trading? Once you do away with that fear, guys, you're gonna do really well. So all right, guys, no questions. Go ahead and reach out to me on my Facebook. Again, my name is Jay Barbosa Moreno. You can reach out on my Facebook. I'm more than happy to help you guys out with whatever I can, whatever within my is within my grasp. I'll help you out. And it was a pleasure. You guys have a good one. Until next time, guys.